What the fuck? Sorry, Kindling.
See, I always sometimes wonder what like the weird stuff characters would like just reading stuff basically. Like Valkyrie just trying to going. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because the bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
Oh, fuck.
Although, to be fair, I'd imagine Kimberly would say that. I'm not gonna read that in Kimberly's voice because we got D&D times, D&D fun times. Woo! All righty. If that is the case, the Talaria are currently waiting out the last few days of their stay in Rethrin, while one of their comrades' fur is being looked at by a member of the Inner Circle. You've decided for the remaining days to ensure that you are stocked up on everything for your journey back out of the Morag, and on your final full day in the village you would confront Bulgan, an alchemist who has a tattoo similar to Alara, the mage that you had helped apprehend in Lanarch. After a brief interrogation with Bulgan, you learned that he was part of a group known as the Spider's Eye, whose main purpose appears to be destroying the Iona Cord, of whom you are helping out in finding information about the Spider's Eye. Though Bulgan has insisted that his time with the Spider's Eye was over, his cowardness and disregard for the safety of Rethrin rubbed you all the wrong way. So, after obtaining the potions which you had asked him to provide, you left the shop, angered but informed, and that is where we left off. If I recall, yes, no, you left with them just leaving.
Yep, we had just left there. We were going to, like, just check up on Fur after this, weren't we?
I think so, yeah.
It was either, if I recall, it was either checking up on Fur or letting the Inner Circle know about Bulgan.
Well, that's what I'm leading up to. Kindling's outside with and Havelock was invisible but heard all of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Mev comes out and she obviously looks a little peeved. Alright. We got some sort of information out of that.
Wait, so I'm just trying to remember, was I there for the whole Bulgan conversation?
Yes.
Yes, you were.
Basically, it was you, Havelock, and Mev. Kindling and Kurz were round the back. And obviously,
basically
Fur's
making
not
sure
there.
they don't run.
Yeah, and obviously Fur's not there at the moment, so.
No. Yeah, and Akis goes, well, I suppose it wasn't entirely fruitless, but what's a... I don't mind this word lightly, but what a scumbag.
He's a complete coward.
Indeed. You think if we do tell the sorry, this is out of character mindfuck, sorry.
In a circle.
Yeah, thank you. He goes, if you do think, if we do tell the Inner Circle about all of this? Are we out of earshot from Bulgan, by the way, before I say all this?
We should be.
You're just outside, but I think you closed the door on the way out, so...
We did close the door, and I imagine we're going to the back to grab kindling.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because you don't think that if we do reveal his true nature to the inner circle, that there won't be any kind of repercussions? What do you think?
Who cares if there's the repercussions for him? We tell them, and he's made his own bed.
Frankly, I wasn't too worried about him. It seems consequences are exactly what he needs. I was more thinking about us. For instance, if the choice is exile for him, the charge is that, and then he will come after us seeking blood and retribution. And
He's gone into hiding for 8 years from these people, and he's not even willing to get rid of a tattoo to make himself less noticeable. The man isn't going to be coming after us. He's too much of a pussyfoot to do that.
I suppose, yes, he probably would just flee into some sort of badger den.
Really, absolute worst case scenario, he finds his way back to the Spider's Eye, tells them, hey, I found these people that screwed you over. Maybe don't kill me, and I can show you where they were going. And then he dies anyways, because that's what traitorous cowards get. At least here he'd have a chance of survival.
I didn't realize the charge for cowardice was death, frankly. Is that pirate code?
Of course. It's usually what happens when, people desert, And, Aki, you remember the conversation you had with Meth the other night.
That's so fucking many. Which one?
About how she just up and left.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
And then so Aki just goes. Right. So, where's the others?
Well, she points behind her shoulder. Look.
Havelock just starts lifting her hair, making ghost noises. Ooh.
Is right there. And then she points in front of her. Kindling and Curtis are back there.
All right. So in that case, shouldn't we make the most of our time here and inform the council?
I think so.
Yes, it is. It is just, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Right.
Are you feeling conflicted?
No, I'm just worried of. No, I'm worried of the precedent and the fate that might befall him. It's nothing. It needs to be done. I'm just being overly ponderous.
Think of it this way, Aki. If we don't tell them and they aren't prepared, what happens to the rest of the people here?
Slaughtered or worse?
Could be. Is that the chance you want to take in order to get him, out of trouble?
No, it's not.
Then we tell the
Simple.
council.
Simple law of the common good. All right.
That's right.
And then yeah, so Aki just sort of does a sigh and starts walking towards the centre of the town, towards where the council meet.
Yeah, Mev beckons, kindling, and curs.
Alrighty. So, just to double check, Aki, are you heading towards the center, or are you heading to, like, because you don't know, because when the
We're going to Navarra's.
I was
right?
gonna
Yeah.
say, like, do you mean you were going to Navarra's, not to the center of the
Yes,
village?
I did. Sorry, yeah, I meant Navarra's. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you quickly begin to make your way across. Obviously, with Curse Review, you do get like a lot of people just like looking. You go as you go past the center bit, you see the kids from a few days before who who Curse gave free rides to, just sort of like stop as Ifira is teaching them, just to sort of wave specifically at Curse, but to you guys in general.
Mm-hmm.
Aki, you hear one of them say, "Yes, miss, can we have a ride on the dragon again?" It's not down to me or you, it's down to Curse and Fur. Eventually, you make your way across the village to Narava's house. You hear conversation within. It's very muffled. Aki, you're only able to really identify the people just based on their voice,
Mm-hmm.
which is Narava and Yenna.
Okay. Hold on, I need to double check. Got it. Okay. Right. Can I drop some eaves? Can I pick out what they're saying?
Make a perception check.
I would love to.
See what Navara and Yenna are saying.
Sorry, it's just loading. There we go. This looks weird. Yeah, perception, Bing, and then Bing.
14 total. It's hard to tell, given that you're trying to listen through wood and walls.
Fair enough. It just sounds sort of just muffled noise.
Yeah. It's essentially like trying to pick out a conversation from, someone in another room that's not raising their voice.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Aki, I thought you were supposed to be able to hear like a pin drop a mile away.
I mean, he's like the Doctor Who Sonic Screwdriver. His weakness is wood. He can't do wood. What? Yeah, Aki does say so, but he's able to pick out the voice and like know who it is, right?
Yeah. You can tell just because of the kind of voices that they have.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Aki just sort of just pause and go. Goes like, okay, Navarra is with Yenna right now. Is this something we want multiple people to know first, or just Navarra?
I think we have a conversation with Navarra first before we bring it to the council itself.
All right, though, isn't it more expedient if someone on the council as well as Navarra knows as well? Or perhaps Yenna might be of the mind to just saunter over to Bulgan and clap him in irons on the spot.
It's more so I trust Navarra more, and she can decide for herself whether this is pressing enough to take to the circle.
All right. Okay, I guess we'll have to. Guess we'll have to wait then, sadly.
If that's the case, during this time, because we didn't really get to explain anything to Kindling and Kurz,
Yeah.
Mev will take the opportunity to basically get them up to speed.
Lovely.
Alrighty. So you just converse just outside the front door of Navarro's house.
I mean, we might step a little away, but it will be apparent that we're just like kind of waiting.
Mm-hmm. So you bring Kindling and Kurz up to speed in regards to the conversation that was had.
Is Havelock not there?
Havelock was there, but he was already aware of it.
Havelock, yeah, already was there for the conversation.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Havelock was there, but just
He
invisible.
saw all of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and sorry. Okay, fair enough. So he goes like, so clearly his presence here is of reckless endangerment to the rest of the tribe, and they deserve to know about it. And I suppose whatever they see fit will be done, and we'll be on our merry ways.
Mev nods. I'm not looking for any kind of specific punishment. I more so just want people to be aware of the situation so that they can make those choices for themselves.
I agree. But I mean, ideally, this might help ingratiate ourselves a bit more to the Merodon, regardless. Hell, this could be a vital piece of tribe security. They could be indebted to us.
Or they could think we're just stirring up trouble.
Yet, would they not know that our words would have merit?
Just because we came in here and made a couple of exchanges doesn't mean that they completely trust us yet. Especially some of them. And it looks like Mev has someone in mind.
Yeah.
But
Fair as a fucking naughty girl.
I feel like they at the very least know that we wouldn't say things willy-nilly.
Exactly. Yes, precisely. We wouldn't be vindictive, essentially.
It's just sometimes people grow to care about other people, and even if you tell them something is wrong, they won't care. I'm not sure what kind of situation this one is.
No, I agree. It's... I'll just see what happens, I'm afraid.
That's all we can do.
Do you have any inclination? Do you think... You don't think that the spider's eye could genuinely be hot on our heels in some way, or scrying on our location, or tracking us in some sort of arcane manner?
Right now, I don't think so. Well, I'm not very familiar with magic, but it at the very least sounds like a lot of escaping was a very recent thing. If anything, she's probably just gotten back to wherever she needs to be and is spilling what happened.
It's just... I don't know how nefarious these people are, deeply. You don't think they could, like, spy through Bulgan's eyes or something?
I have no idea. He claims to have that, anti-scrying charm.
True. I suppose maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I'm not a big proponent of being harried by a band of murderous wizards.
I think you're right to be worried in this regard. What is it? The Enclave?
You mean the group that the Spider's Eye is trying to destroy? You mean
Yes.
the Iuna Accord?
Yeah. The Unicorn. If the Accord is worried about them and they're, extremely powerful arcane users, I think a little paranoia is worth something.
Fair enough. It's just, it's nice to feel like my over-trepidation is justified for a change.
Honestly, I'm a little concerned about something that we learned.
Which one?
Alright, Tom, you're gonna need to give me names.
Okay.
I need the Archmage in Sangan, and I need the wizard that was kicked out of the Accord.
So the wizard that was kicked out of the Accord...
Jiraiya.
Yeah, Jiraiya, I was going to say.
Jiraiya.
And let me just grab the
Is
town.
that France? In...
No, that's Embar.
Okay.
Valabeth
That's
is
it.
the Archmage of Sangan.
Did we meet Valabeth?
Yes.
Okay.
God, what did you just say the one in Embar was?
Ferrand.
Front. Okay.
And Ferrant is the teacher, not the Archmage.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Or Headmaster,
Okay.
even.
When we spoke to the headmaster in Embar, they didn't really know if Jiraiya was alive and if he had his magic. We just confirmed both of those things. Which means I'm not sure they're even aware that this organization is a thing. The kind of threat that they're up against. At least from how it sounds, they're in the dark.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, stars, they are. Do we have a way of contacting Olivia or Valabeth or Ferrand or any other member?
Well, we're going to meet up with Olivia in Port Honor. We
Yes, but
have the sending, of course, but it's only going to give us so much.
It could be days, weeks before we're at Port Honor. They need to know this now, so that they can prepare and build proprietary defenses. If you have some way of sending, do we have a sending stone from someone? Did we?
We can connect to the headmaster and to Olivia, but I really don't know how much we can give Aki. We don't know how much they actually know. And just sending a small message of, hey, this guy's still alive and he has his magic and shit, is going to send way more people into a panic than it's going to help.
That's a rightly justified panic.
No,
Since-
when people panic because they don't have all the information, they run around like chickens with their heads cut off. We can't give everything, so we should hold off. Imagine if I told you, hey, it's a really powerful wizard that's coming after you. Bye. That's it.
I understand your sentiment. I probably would run and jump into the deepest, furthest hole I could find.
And you wouldn't actually be able to do anything, would you? You don't know who's coming, what's coming, how many, why, how.
How long has Bulgan been haunted by the spider's eye? Did you say?
That's Curse?
Yep.
He said about 8 years.
So this Jiraiya
Course.
person's had their magic back for 8 years, and nothing's changed.
As far as we
Probably
know.
right.
But it seems like they're getting bolder.
I don't see how a few more days of them not knowing is gonna cause much harm.
Mem nods.
Alright, fine. We will give a full situational report once we reach Port Honor.
That's
But-
the plan.
I still think that they should at least be preliminarily informed to. And if they panic and come to rash action, that isn't our decision.
Technically, they honor the Araki. Alara's escaped, and she's a powerful mage. They know that at the very least. They know there's some kind of threat. And because of the conversation that we have had with the mages, they know that something weird is going on.
I suppose. Fine.
She pats his shoulder. It's evident that he isn't very pleased with this, but Mev's not gonna
Yeah.
make people freak out when she can't provide all the information.
Yeah.
Aki, as this conversation is wrapping up, you do spot some movement near near one of the windows at Navarra's house.
They peek out at us. Oh shit, it's them.
I was gonna say, like, I draw my sword. Who is it?
It-
That's such not an Aki move. Yeah, Aki just kind of just like seeing the movement. He kind of just like pokes his head up like a
Meerkat.
and, like sings going on.
Quick before the hyena.
Yenna
comes.
is looking at you all. And just sort of looks a bit confused before he like sort of turns around, says something, and heads off to the side. The door to Navarra's house opens, and Yenna just sort of like sticks out. It's like, you guys doing all right?
Yeah, Mev looks and gives her little like finger wave. Just coming to see Navarra?
Oh, you don't have to wait. Come on, come in.
You see Aki, Mev's smile tighten, but she goes ahead and walks along to the door. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. We Just didn't want to be rude.
No, it's fine. I was about to get some more drunk anyway. Hey, you need me to get anything for you lot?
I think we're good,
Yes, I'm fine.
right?
Yes. Well, can't speak for all of us, but I'm fine. Yes.
Yeah, obviously. If these guys want tea.
Yeah, if you want anything to drink, I'll go make it. I was just making something for myself. No? Okay then.
Yeah.
He sort of walks
I
off.
love Havelock and Kindling's dead silence.
Yep.
Yeah. So he walks off to another part of the house. Navarra's just
How big is Navarra's gaff?
it's about the size of a bungalow house, probably.
Okay.
So it's relatively spacious, but not like, massive.
Fair enough.
Especially as well, given that Rethrin isn't a particularly big town. So yeah. So you all sort of like head into the sitting room where Navarra is currently just sitting. And it's like, oh, hello. I wasn't expecting to see you all back so soon.
We just kind of came to talk to you about something and get an update on Fur.
Ah, right, of course. Well, Fur is doing fine. Zangsha has already started his work, though he made sure that was perfectly fine with it all, which, I mean, she was a bit nervous, but she seemed to be fine with it all. Mostly was just asking questions about how she got this connection with Kurz. When I left, there was a suggestion of doing the same thing we were going to, that was offered to you, Aki, a ritual of recalling to see if maybe there were some memories that she forgot.
Right.
From what Zancha told me, while they did the ritual, it brought up some bad memories for her. So I can only apologize for that.
Yeah.
Is she alright? Does she need someone?
No, she seems to have been fine. I was after the end of the ritual. She was a bit upset, but she calmed down well enough. We even offered, as some of us are adept at the modification of memories, we offered to essentially re-hide the memories from her, but she refused. But Sanchez said that because of that, he is not going to be doing any testing or theory crafting with her today. Merely just letting her mentally recover while using one of the Grove children, Sia, as a sort of test bed in regards to the connection and seeing if it matches.
So things have been delayed for a day.
Yes, but Zancha has made it clear that he does not intend to keep for longer than was agreed.
Okay. Mev nods. Alright, I'm done with my bagel. I can devote all my time to you guys.
Yeah.
Whew.
Now, you said you wanted to say something else to me? Or...
We would like to inform you of something and get your opinion on whether it's worth bringing it to the circle.
By all means, go ahead.
Alright. Mev Well, take a seat. I'm sure you're familiar with Bulgan.
Yes, the alchemist, yes?
Yes.
Indeed, yes.
I've had a few dealings with him, yes.
The mark on his face. Do you recognize?
No, when he was questioned about his reason for being here, similar to how Tullus had questioned you all when you had first arrived, he simply said it was a reminder of his past life.
Yeah, Meb nods. That tattoo, that mark, is of a dangerous mage group known as the Specter's Eye. We've had a couple dealings with them before. Not dealings, more like run-ins. They are very, very powerful and don't really have everyone's best intentions in mind.
I see. Tell me more about this spider's eye.
Mev nods. And she will start with basically like how they met the spider's eye and what they've heard about them since.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of running through that backstory, you
Mhm.
know?
Yep. Yeah, so basically give the summary of your first encounter with them in Lanarch and the outcome of that.
And then what we've heard about their leader, Jiraiya.
Yeah.
I see, so Jirai was part of this Ayun Accord?
Yes, they are,
I can answer this one. You hear, stepping out just a little bit away, a now cold cup of tea in his hand, Yana.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to, interrupt.
Right. Come in. I mean, you've heard it all.
I heard the latter half, anyway. And he just sort of, sits down, just places a cup there. Not dealt with the Iron Accord, but it's kind of an elite group of mages. Part of the Republic, specifically. Though they don't answer to the Republic, I think. I don't know, it's kind of difficult to know. But, so you're saying this Jiraiya person's after the Accord?
That's right.
Indeed.
Right. So, Bulgan's a agent for the Spider's Eye? Or...
No, he's a deserter. But he thinks that they might come after him for the secrets he knows. We have seen the things that the Spider's Eye are willing to do. They don't mind innocent casualties.
Well, I guess he sort of looks to Navara. I guess there's the argument we could make for why they're keeping Kurz away. If they're happy to have Bulgan around, then surely they'd be happy to have Kurz around too. Yes, but if they're not, then you could get kicked out as well, Yana. I don't think my crimes are gonna warrant them kicking me out. Besides, is it for the tribe's safety? Fuck it, I'll do it. You're part of the inner circle now, Yana. What was that, Ed?
So I was thinking, do I remember were we ever told what Yenna's crimes were?
The only thing you know is that and Athena both arrived here.
That's it. Okay.
We. This isn't a plea for cutters or something to point the finger, you know? It's more so. Bulgan wants to protect his own ass. He's not thinking of anyone here. People deserve to know what they're up against at the very least if they're harboring someone.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, I had said before with Kurz, my concern is that we got a lot of innocents here. Republic send everything down to take out Kurz, then innocent lives probably going to be lost because they'll assume we've been sheltering them. Same thing with Bulgan, from the sounds of things. This Spider's Eye group find him, might think that we were deliberately keeping them hidden, and innocents lost.
Mev nods. That's why we understand the whole situation with Curse. It's
Indeed.
unfortunate, but we don't want anyone to be hurt.
No, you're quite right. It's... Maybe I should have a word with him. No. I'll do it. Why you? You're sort of seen as a goody two-shoes around here.
Ouch.
I mean, I would have thought that gets the answer out of him more. Yeah, but, let's put it this way. We're the only ones that know this is, just looks at you guys, no offense, this is now an inner circle issue. Between the two of us, I'm the most combat capable, so if shit goes south, I need to be the one there in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, Mev nods. He tried to use magic when we confronted him. I think he was trying to bolt, but he's clearly capable of harming someone.
Well,
Indeed.
so am I. He just sort of like sits up. Do you sort of like, you see he checks the sword that's sort of like holstered on his belt. Right. Shouldn't be long. And so like just nudges past you all and leaves the building.
Yeah, Mev just heaves a sigh. I don't exactly feel good about this. It's understandable in a way that Bulgan's secrets are his own, and he doesn't exactly deserve to lose his home because of his past. But when I tried to speak to him about the risk he was putting others through, he seemed so flagrant and cocky about it. Like he didn't care.
Rethrin houses many people who have done stuff which either they regret or if that may cause them to be at risk if they were to leave. And we grant them sanctuary when we can, but it is always under the condition that if that past could threaten the entirety of Rethrin, then discussions need to be had.
Yeah, she nods. I think that's right. It's only fair that you all know what you are facing, what you're bringing in.
And that's typically all that we ask. We ask that people come clean with their past. We don't pry too much. After all, that is their past, not ours. And they are trying to essentially make a new life here. Typically, we simply just ask to know what kind of threats there are.
Which it's clear Bulgan hasn't been forthcoming with.
Indeed.
specifically, it's probably we didn't pry enough. He simply said that he was being chased by a group of people that he had cut ties with.
Yeah, Mev, Nons. Definitely seems like more questions should have been asked.
Hmm. Well, I suppose there's no point deciding who deserves the harsh judgment for the past doings.
Essentially, yes.
It's what happens next? Will he be brought towards the inner circle for judgment or something? Or
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even too sure what Yana is going to ask Bulgan, but he'll be brought up to the inner circle. We will discuss it. We shall decide if we need to question Bulgan once more, and regardless on if we do that or not, we will have to make a decision. If he is considered too big of a threat to the safety of Rethrin, he will be given some gold, some provisions, and sent on his way and told never to return.
We had tried to offer him some sort of assistance. If that were the case, but he was very adamant about how no one would find out. Even tried to, I guess, buy us off.
Well, his bullheadedness will only get him so far.
That's what I thought.
But if that is his choice, then that is his choice. If he does not want us to help, then we shall not help.
And yet it's a choice that endangers several innocent lives. Is that not worth some sort of recompense?
That is where the discussion with the inner circle will be.
And like how Aki was like, well, should we? I don't know. And then it's like, okay, but is this guy gonna get his comeuppance?
Okay, fine. Oh, I'm too tired for consistency.
I mean, if anything, that is probably why Yana is going to question Bulgan instead of me. I am very much about the safety of all that come in, regardless of the threats. So nods towards Kurz.
He worries that you'll be a little soft.
I will admit I am, as he says, a bit of a goody two-shoes. As I say, people come here for a reason, and I would hope that they would be able to find safety where they no longer can find any.
I think that's very respectable of you, and can see why Blip really likes you.
Yes, because it's not often you see a slime that is friendly. Most of them are animalistic and simply want to consume anything and anyone. But I felt that she was not like that.
She's not like other slimes.
And considering she has been here for many a year, it is good that I was right.
Yeah, Mev nods. It's always good to have a big heart, but Yena's right. It can also lead to trouble.
And this is why we have the inner circle with various stances. Tullus being a middleman, me obviously having, as you say, having a big heart. Zancha being more about information and making his conclusion based on that. I mean, you then also have ones which I guess are in direct opposite to me, like Wolf.
Yeah, Mev nods. It's good to have some different perspectives.
Absolutely. What's the point of arranging a council if they're all of the same mind?
And that is how you get inner circle members like we do. Yenna is our newest one, yet he became an inner circle only a few years after he arrived. Not because he provided anything of great help to it, though he is adept as a scout, but simply because of his ideals and his stance on things. That's why he became a member of the inner circle.
Interesting. And what is his official role, just out of curiosity?
He is. I literally just had it right on my list here, and then I clicked off it.
I've got him down as Pathwalker.
Path Treader. That's what he is.
Path Treader, sorry.
Yeah. He's a Path Treader, a role which, now that we've decided Rethrin will be our final home, has become a bit redundant. Essentially, he goes out and finds areas that might be useful for growing the town or new settlements.
Interesting. And could that possibly not lead you to clashes against other forces in the forest? Maybe seen as some kind of expansionism isn't usually greeted with joy to those who you're expanding into.
That is why we tend not to expand, merely relocate if our home is no longer suitable. And yes, Yenna has came into conflict with the denizens of the Marag before, but he is a very capable fighter.
Excellent.
He, from what he has told me, his job before he became a path treader was a bodyguard for a noble.
Quite a
This might be this might be a little rude, but is that who he pissed off?
He has told me, but I feel it would be rude for me to spill his story out. I'm sure he'd be happy to discuss it. He doesn't have any qualms with what happened, barring... There was one bit that he never told us about, which was a disagreement with one of the things which he was charged with. But that is not my place to answer. You're free to wait and ask him if you like. As I say, he doesn't mind talking about what got him here.
Right. I think I will. I'm a little curious.
Very well, then I suppose we shall simply wait. So looks down at the teacup that Yenna left behind. I think I'll have this hot for him when he gets back. So reaches over, just pulls it out and heads over to the kitchen.
No smiles at that. That's very nice.
About 10 more minutes go by before you see out of the window Yenna coming back. Doesn't appear to be harmed in any way. Has a bit of his brow is furrowed though, as he just sort of
Oh, you grumpy.
knocks the door a few times before checking to see it's open and comes in.
Yeah.
He gives you all a bit of a nod before just sitting down on the on one of the chairs. Just runs his hand over the top of his head.
Yeah, he just goes, so, how fares our mutual friend?
Well, he was still there. Didn't hide the fact that you had a conversation with him. Seems like he told me the exact same thing he told you. This Dryer person was kicked out of the Iron Accord. Apparently made so he couldn't cast spells anymore, but apparently that didn't stop him. Then he made the group the Spider's Eye with the intent of destroy the Iron Accord.
Precisely the same information we gathered, yes.
Mm-hmm. So I asked him a bunch of questions. How many do they have? Do they know that he's here? What would happen if they find out he's here? He seems to be convinced that they'll just come, take him and him alone and leave. Pointing out that's probably not what's going to happen. He's insisting on it, though. So, after a bunch of back and forth and going around in circles where he seems... I think he's trying to convince himself that nothing bad's going to happen to him if they arrive, to anyone if he's going to arrive.
Yeah, Mev nods. She can agree with that.
Told him that he's wrong, told him that he's being a coward, told him that he's not taking responsibility for the potential consequences, and told him that he should be prepared for what the inner circles say to him in the coming days.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you this way, it comes to a vote, I'm already voting to get him out of here. He, of course, then tried to throw it back at me, says, well, you've said that you've got people after you, what's going to happen there? And I just simply said to him, if they say that I have to go, then at least a bigger threat to the tribe goes as well.
That's very noble of you.
Eh.
Yes.
Look, I got places I could go to. I just prefer it here, you know? Not having to look over the back, look over my shoulder every now and then. Hell,
Yeah.
I might go to the other continents if I have to.
Mev nods. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly is after you?
See, that's an interesting question. Where did you guys come from again? Like, town-wise?
Kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean before you came
none of us
here.
are part of the Republic, though.
No, I get that part, but I mean, before you came here through the Mirage, did you stop over by Sangan?
Yes.
You didn't happen to
That's right, yeah.
You didn't happen to spot a bounty there for me, did you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did
We've
we?
got a collection of bounties.
That's a really good question, yeah.
Can we roll history? Because we've checked that a couple of times.
Sure.
Just sorry, my thing's lagging a little bit.
That's alright.
The two predominant ones that you definitely remember
I remember the
was
smuggler at the,
yeah
at
was
the very
the
least.
smuggler and an archdruid. You didn't see any bounties for a green dragonborn.
Yeah, Mev shakes her head. I don't recall seeing anything that seemed to match you, unless you're the smuggler.
Nah. Know the guy though, kinda. Did business with him. The people that are hunting me is the Republic themselves. Various crimes. Essentially, I was a bodyguard for one of the nobles in Sangan. Not a particularly well-known high-up noble, just, you know, one that's just made their foot on the ladder and is milking it for everything they got. A I won't go into details about the particulars. That's something my wife might be able to tell you. She was involved in it more than I was. But, let's see. What were my crimes?
Is his wife the teacher?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Well, I don't think anyone knows that I, did dealings with a smuggler. So that would be breaking and entering, depending on who you ask, theft of personal property, assault of a noble, evading arrest, the assault or murder, didn't check, of a Zamahan soldier. Yeah, that's really the ones that I got. That probably would have the Republic after me.
So you don't actually have anyone in particular after you. You just caused problems.
Yeah, basically.
Well, then how can Bulgan even compare?
I
She
think
scoffs.
I think that he's grasping.
Damn right he's fucking grasping. You just are a criminal. You did some stupid shit.
I would
No
put it
one's
more
gonna go
as
out of their way to go to this fucking death pit to find you.
absolutely not. I don't know why. I don't think they'd spent an entire expedition trying to find me. I'm small time compared to Bulgan, I guess.
That's fucking right. The fucking spider's eye would be looking for him for their fucking secrets.
Looking, I
and
won't be
actually
surprised.
would be able to get through here.
I don't doubt, given what Bulgan told me about this stuff. He even showed me a few of his magic tricks there as well, might add on that one.
Mev fucking shakes her head. What the fucking moron?
I know. Either way, I know what your vote's probably going to be, Navarra. I don't recommend you go with it. I know. I would still want to hear him out.
Fucking...
But
what
I mean,
do I say?
but I mean, if the rest of the inner circle make their choice, then I will not disagree with them.
Navarra,
Yes?
I don't mean this to be insulting. I think it's very nice that you have such a big heart and that you're willing to hear people out, and you should still. But if I could provide my 2 cents, sometimes being so generous can end up hurting others in the long run.
You know, you're not the first person to say that to me.
Mev nods. I
know my
suppose I wouldn't want
stance.
someone with your demeanor to be taken advantage of.
To me, it's a case on if they're an active threat. We have had people come through in the past who were clearly going to be a threat right away, and I've turned them away happily. I guess it's a case of in the situation of Bulgan and Kurz, I guess I would say I am willing to take that risk, but I'm not so willing that I will turn against Rethrin as a whole. As I say, if the Inner Circle decides that Bulgan must go, then I will not disagree with them and say that Bulgan must go as well. I simply... I guess it is easy for me to try and see the good in everything.
I think that's a very lovely stance to have, and one that I usually agree with.
As I say, when the inner circle meets, we will discuss Bulgan. We shall get the full story, and then we will make our choice. If I feel that he is too big of a threat, I mean, this is different from, say, Kurz, who's only a threat simply because the Republic say it's so. If Bulgan is being actively hunted by people who simply want nothing but wanton destruction, then of course he would have to go, but I would wait until I have heard all the details from the Inner Circle and Bulgan as well. He should answer, he should be clear, and he should, speak up, and he needs to stop talking around in damn circles. Yes, I was about to say he needs to not try to elude the truth.
Yeah, no. Nods. I figured you'd say as much. I always think it's important to make sure that people are aware of the perspectives going on.
And that is what I always seek to do. I always try to find out the good in somebody and use that as an argument, but I completely acknowledge that sometimes the good cannot outweigh the bad. That's why, as I say, we have sent people away. I've said that we should send people away, because there is simply not enough good in there to warrant the bad.
Has that ever been hard for you? To acknowledge that someone may not be worth protecting?
When I was younger, yes, but as the decades have gone by, I know that there's only so far you can go with having a big heart, and sometimes the facts are there in front of you that it doesn't matter how nice you are or how much good you see in somebody. Some people are simply just evil. Some people are simply a threat. And I accept that.
Yeah. Mev takes a breath and nods.
I suppose the danger is in how quickly and how rashly you come to that conclusion.
Essentially. That is, as I say, why I try to find all the good, because the longer I argue my case, the more comes out and the more definitive an answer we can get. Yana here has made his decision after a, 10-15 minute conversation? About 10, yeah. 10-minute conversation, he's decided Bulgan's too big of a threat. What if there's more information that Bulgan simply is refusing to say? There could be more details in there, more ways to argue his case of remaining. Or it could be that those 10 minutes was literally everything. But if you simply go based on that initial conversation, you'll never know. That is why I have such a big heart. To draw out everything we can, all the good and all the bad of somebody, and then come to a conclusion on if this person deserves to stay in Rethrin.
How are other people looking? as she's talking.
Kurtz is looking
What are
relatively
your
uninterested.
suspicions?
Is Kurs in the house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Curtis is bored by everything. I'm not surprised he's in Navarre's house.
I would be very fond to hear, like, if his inner monologue is him just being, like, constantly, like, dejected and, like, gripped by ennui, like some kind of, like a French poet. But yeah, Aki just looks sort of. He just looks sort of like, what's the word?
Contemplative.
Contemplative. Thank you. Just like mulling over what he's saying about like the nature of goodness and seeing it in other people and that sort of stuff. So he's just sort of like, you can see him almost like deep in thought. Like as if like no one else is in the room. He just sort of looks like in his own mind, basically.
Mev looks quite pleased with Navarre's answer. It seems like that that gauged something for Mev.
Is there anything else, or would you simply like to simply have conversation the remainder of the day?
I believe that's all the business we had. Official anyway.
I think I'd like conversation. How have you seen Blip recently?
Not since a few days ago. Inner circle meetings and all that, you know, your various conundrums and don't take this the wrong way, but they sort of pushed our agenda back by a little bit. So we had to prioritize that and then catch up on our things. So I haven't been able to see Blip recently.
Yeah, Mev nods. What were you gonna say, Aki?
No, Aki. No, I was thinking of saying it, but Aki's just gonna think it, so it's fine.
Okay. I just spent some time with her the other day. We had a good time.
Well, I'm glad. Always nice to see people conversing with Blip. She's rather shy.
I can tell she I thought it was kind of cute, her behavior. She seems to take an awful lot of pride in her appearance.
I assume you mean about the fact that she takes on my appearance.
Yes, I think it shows kind of how much she values you, and well, my friend she looks to have lost accidentally died her temporarily.
I see. You see Navarra just slowly look towards Havelock.
Yeah, she was quite distressed. It kind of, I mean, it was understandable, and I don't mean to patronize her or anything. She, it just kind of reminded me of being, like, a little girl.
How so?
Well, when you're young and new to everything, you're figuring out who you are. When you're a girl, you're constantly thinking about your appearance and how to make yourself stand out. It seems like she cares about her appearance, but she isn't quite ready to make noise. It reminds me of that youthfulness.
Well, Blip doesn't even know how old she is. She simply, apparently in her own words, just one day she woke up being aware.
Yeah, Mev nods. It must be confusing for her, trying to figure out who she is.
And as I'm sure you know, they don't particularly have a form, so she simply picked a form that she thought was suitable. She asked if she could look like me, and I had no issue with that.
Yeah, she nods.
Took her a few weeks to get it right.
Well, talking to her definitely reminded me of that and made me appreciate it a little more, you know? It must be scary for her, but it's also kind of fun getting to figure things out.
I can imagine. You just see, so like, Navarro, so like, just have a small smile, just not looking anywhere in particular, just seemingly reminiscing on memories from the looks of things.
Yeah. Mev definitely looks pleased too, and I think they'll continue to talk for a while. Just kind of hang out.
Alrighty, so you spend I guess the question is, do you have anything else planned for the remainder of the day? Outside of conversation.
I don't think that we specifically do we?
I don't think so.
That's why I'm asking to the wider group.
Yeah, does anyone plan to steal a fucking sheep? Like,
Yeah,
you
what-
monsters?
Yeah, what shenanigans can Thingy pull out? Can has Havelock got for us?
What problems shall be caused today?
I just imagine her saying like, "Hey guys, check out my cool new spider tattoo."
Hold on.
No, I think I'm okay actually.
Um,
I mean, apart from maybe...
Hmm.
Never mind. She was joking. Apparently, I was joking. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank.
Listen, if Mev and Navarre are having like nice conversation about how refreshing Blip is and everything, and then you guys go and rob her, it's very much something that you two would do. But
Yeah.
yeah, you. Oh my god. If you guys want to go work for the sheep, go ahead.
Okay, so I assume you ask if you can help looking after the sheep.
You guys ask, right? You guys use your words.
Yes. How much to you you want one of our sheep?
Yes.
Okay, well, now since you guys have asked about the sheep, I want you to know if you steal another one of these fuckers, they will you.
Right, so you want to take one of the sheep with you? The day of work's probably not gonna be enough for it, but I mean, I'm not the tender here, but we could still take money off them in case, you know, what happens with Bulgan. We're not exactly gonna leave them with nothing, are we? Yes, but I don't know if they'd be happy essentially funding somebody who they clearly don't like. Well, don't say. Well, let's not say it's for Bulgar then. Let's just say it's if anyone leaves. We do it in the past. That seems fair, but it's down to if they agree with it or not.
Oh, what are they talking about?
Basically, they're saying that one day of work wouldn't warrant a sheep, but they're saying, like, work and some gold. But Yenna had said, well, you know, if they kick Bulgan out, he could use that money, and Navarra's like, I don't think they'd be keen on the idea of their money helping Bulgan. And Yenna's just simply responded and said, well, let's say it's just for the wider community if they decide to leave. It's not uncommon for people to leave.
Oh. Mev looks back to Havelock and Kindling. I mean, as long as it comes out of your own pockets. Did he take out 18 gold? Because that's all he has.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my money and I'm just gonna just imagine how Aki's gonna like, so what's the running rate for a sheep these days? 5 platinum?
Okay, Nemesis.
Just do a full on like that bit like that bit from Arrested Development where what's her face doesn't know how much like it goes like, well, how much is chicken
How
anyway?
much?
$10? Yeah.
How much could a banana cost? $10?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Navarro sort of like leans forward towards the gold, and Yenna just sort of like grabs hold of her wrist. No. This is where I come in on this one. So like leans back, looks at Havelock. In the Republic, you could get maybe half a sheep for that amount. About 30 gold and a day's work.
Is that true? That sheep cost that much?
Make a... Ooh.
Can I insight him?
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to insight?
Yeah, I'll insight too.
Yeah, you know, these separate rolls.
If this is like a haggling game, you know.
17?
My god, my lag on Roll20 is terrible.
17,
Like,
12.
it's still working, but it's so slow.
You can the two of you have dealt with stolen livestock before, so even though you haven't really been involved in it, you do know roughly, like, just when it comes to calculating, how much worth they are. Frankly, Havelock's 18 gold is massively, like, you could buy several sheep with that.
Yeah, Mev grins. I don't know how long you've been out of the Republic, buddy, but this is way generous.
I would say with Havelocks on the inside, you sort of recall, usually sheep go between 2 to 5 gold each.
I love how he's like, let me show you how it's done, Navarra. And then these two fucking pirates are like, yeah.
Yeah,
His smile sort of drops a little bit, but it's still mostly there. In case you haven't noticed, Havelock, we're not a farm here. So to me, the value of a sheep here goes up significantly more.
Hmm?
So, like, looks over.
Mev nods. That is fair. They're kind of a commodity here, Havelock.
Navarro just sort of, like, flicks her wrist a bit so that, lets go. I am the tender here, Yenna. And because of that, she slides through the gold back towards you, Havelock. I think this will suffice for your one sheep. And a day's of work, of course. And he just watches Navarra glare over at Yenna.
I'm not sure what she's annoyed about. About, like, him trying to bargain with her sheep? Or trying to scam us, maybe?
Go ahead and make another insight check.
Keep the 3 for your escape funds and add it in. Oh my god. When did we want a lamp?
15. Mostly pissed off that Yenna is trying to essentially swindle you.
Mev just looks amused because, like, she doesn't see it as swindling. It's haggling.
God, what's the Monty Python bit about haggling?
I could not remember that off the top of my head.
Navarro just sort of looks over at Yenna. Yenna, truthfully this time, how much does it normally cost for a sheep? Well, that depends. Haven't been there in a while. I would say, in just use such as Navarro's eyes narrow. Depends on the time of year, how much sheep there are. I would say, personally, we go on the higher end of what's normally offered in the Republic. 5 gold for the lamb. Are you absolutely certain it's 5 gold. Yes!
Can I insight him again?
Sure. 19. He's right. It just seems he's being a bit cheeky and going for the higher end. Alright. She brings the 3 gold back. Another 2 more gold onto it, and you get your lamb.
I wonder how long those fucking animals are gonna survive.
What's the likelihood that like somehow like Naga use sheep as currency?
Try and get into the city.
Alright. You slide over a platinum. Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Yeah, just looks at the platinum, looks up at Havelock's like, okay, you call me out for wanting 30 gold, but then you throw a bloody platinum down.
Could throw that another if you want.
Would you, though?
You know, I have 101 platinum. I will take one off and flick it.
What was the goddamn point of calling me out? Just he pockets a platinum.
Ev grins at him. That big Cheshire cat grin.
Right, well, yes, then if that's the case, the two of you can continue to help Blip out. Yenna. What? Find some suitable rope for both the lamb and the sheep. I don't want them running off. Why do I? Because in my position as head tender, I can ask people to do what I want them to do when it comes to the welfare of the sheep. Let me guess, you're gonna...
Animals are gonna die.
Let me guess, you want me to ensure that they have adamant feed, yes, for the journey out of the Morocco. Yes, ma'am. So it stands up and just sort of essentially just leaves in a bit of a huff.
Mev, as Yenna leaves, gives him a link. That was funny.
Right, you don't need to be so charitable, Havelock. But I will ensure that these go to the people that may need it.
I think we just kind of want to make Yenna grumpy.
Yenna is a good lad, but he still has a few of his old tendencies. But yes, Kindling and Havelock, if you want to continue working, simply go speak to Blip and help her with her duties. Alrighty. Okay, so is there anything anyone else wants to do for the remainder of the day? Any conversations to be had? Any things to do?
No, I think I'm okay. thinking.
Roll for sheep. Okay, make an animal handling check then, Kinlink.
Okay.
Fucking handling.
Aki, we could try to do the mind silence again.
Well, I mean, we didn't even try it last time. We ended up talking for ages.
Yeah, we didn't try it, which is why we could do it now.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, Aki will then, in that case. Should that more be like a nighttime-y thing?
Well, we have the entire day and night, if you so choose.
Okay. Well, maybe it shouldn't be night. Let's have rumor start. Because maybe it shouldn't be just Mev and Aki walk into a place, and then they just like sit on the bed for ages. Aki probably moans a few times, and then Mev says like, okay, so how was that? That's how rumors start. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Aki will say to Mev, well, now we have some time before the end. Before we have to make our exit. There's the chance you did offer to try to, I guess, enter my mental space and see if you could soothe it somehow. I felt like we have some time now if you'd like to attempt it.
Yeah, we can do that now.
Right. Well, where would you like me?
Mev gets like a smile on her face. It seems like she is holding back something inappropriate. Yeah. Let's go to my cabin and you could just lay down. I mean, I don't know how you'll react, so.
All right. Just, I don't know what you're going to find in there as well. By the way, it's somewhat disorientating. I do apologize.
Your head's always loud to me. Don't want.
Alright, and Aki will walk back towards the cabins.
Alright.
Yep. They will make their way home and I guess just kind of get set up.
Okay. So, remind me fully what it is that you're attempting to do.
Mev is basically trying to
Sleep with
silence Aki's mind by going into it and either drowning out things with white noise or like not necessarily controlling his thoughts, but making a lot of them just kind of like go away.
Okay. Alright.
It's more of a like meditation thing where they're mind linked.
So essentially it's a case of you're trying to put in empty thoughts through the link to Aki.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so you both lie down and connect, do the mind link connection. Mev, I need you to make a... We'll go with an intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Alright.
And Aki, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is where I wish I had my inspiration dies.
Mm-hmm. So, the interesting thing that you notice as Mev begins to sort of try to silence all the noise is you feel the various noises actually begin to push back against the connection. Almost like it's regarding it as an intruder. You sort of, even in your, asleep state, you essentially build up a wall around the connection that Mev has made, stopping the pushback. And the sounds within the little circle that's been made for yourself, it is quieter, but it's still sort of there. You can make another attempt if you'd like, Mev.
Do a second try.
Yep. In that case, Aki, make an intelligence save.
See, this is dangerous because, on a nat 1, you start hearing Mev's thoughts.
Or it's just like, it turns out that you do it too hard and that Aki gets basically a lobotomy.
Oh, take psychic damage.
Where he just, psychic damage, or where he just gets full on aphasia, where he can't imagine anything.
So the connection sort of strengthens, and sort of Mev's connection pushes back a bit more. And Aki, as you're sort of trying to keep these mental walls up, you suddenly feel a flood come into, essentially into the area that you've built up. Mev, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Alright.
Okay. You sense the noise of collide hard with the connection, but you're able to just, through sheer mental fortitude, keep the connection held. But essentially the work's all been undone, unfortunately. But you can make another attempt.
How's Aki looking?
Well, he seems to be as he normally is. He was a lot calmer up until you felt the noise and such collide with the mental connection.
Yeah. I think the most you can see probably would be maybe he's his face is starting to tense up, and maybe you can see a bead of sweat or something.
Yeah, Mev takes a deep breath. Okay, one more time. She will try again.
Alright, intelligence check and intelligence save from you, Aki.
Yeah. Come on, natural 1. Fuck.
You get relatively close to what it was before the barriers had broken down, and this time the barriers that Aki subconsciously put up to protect the connection hold.
Okay. So we managed to succeed a little bit in getting it quiet.
Yeah, it's essentially akin to, rather than standing outside of a nightclub, being a block away from a nightclub.
This pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Can I at the very least tell if it's Aki's natural consciousness or if there's something else going on?
It's difficult to tell. I would
Could
say...
I roll something to check?
Yeah, I would say...
Because I should know what people's heads feel like.
Yeah. Make a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Wisdom. Wisdom is completely average for me.
7. You heard a few things that sort of sounded just like the brain acknowledging, noises in the background, and a few of them are obviously just a cavalcade of Aki's thoughts. It's almost like it gives you the same feeling of when you're on the ship in the midst of rolling on the waves in a storm, with the waves being the thoughts. It's a cavalcade of just random things that you're not really able to piece together.
So, it's kind of like a mix of it.
Yeah. If there's anything beyond just the brain's acknowledgement of noises and, just Aki's general whirlwind of thoughts, you weren't able to really tell.
Okay.
But you also acknowledge to yourself that, given what you're up against, and given this is the first time doing it, not a half bad attempt.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will kind of wait for Aki to come to get his thoughts.
Yeah, Aki will also. Yeah, because I suppose. Would Aki be asleep? No. Yeah, Aki
Kind of in a state of meditation.
Yeah. Aki just slowly starts to like blink open his eyes, and come to and go. It was interesting. It's as if it was still there, but it was quieter, more distant. It wasn't all encompassing as it usually is. I wasn't expecting it to be totally banished, but it was calmer than usual. I had my own thoughts at least. It was pleasant.
Yeah, Nev. You can feel the connection kind of separate and everything's filling back in. But
yeah, and you could probably and as you start to see sort of Aki just look a bit more like as the connection drops, and it kind of goes back to normal. You do see him look just a little bit more like disorientated and a bit sort of glassy eyed a little bit, and then he goes like, that was tiring. It felt like I was fighting back, but not of my own will. It's strange. It was both. It was as if the sort of exclusionary way of forcing you out. It wasn't entirely alien, but it was like something else was pushing it along and influencing it, ensuring that it was the decision my mind made. I don't know if this is a case of peeling back layers or buffeting against the defenses, but I think you did something.
I definitely did something, but
how do you feel?
Exhausted. She holds her head a little bit. It was hard to move it back in the first place. It feels as though we both need to practice our mental fortitude in order to get better results. It's a team effort.
Understandable, yes. Right, interesting. I think But see, I don't know how to stop it. If that makes sense. It's just simply there. I suppose maybe in some level I've just accepted it as a fact of life. But I will see what I can do. I will try to make it more amicable. Sorry.
Mev nods. You just need to learn to. I don't know, it's kind of. Your thoughts are far more than normal. But the thoughts that are your own, you need to learn to twist off.
I can only try. I will. I'll try desperately. We can always try again later.
We can.
I'm not quite in. I'm quite weary. I'm not sure I'm not sure if we could risk damage at all, possibly. I don't know to you or to me. I don't see. I don't know. We're sort of on a frontier here.
I think with practice we will get better at this. There's obviously some result to be found. Don't worry about the kind of pushback right now.
I just don't want you to get hurt. That's what I'm saying. Because there must be some sort of link between our minds, and which means that mine is, well, yours is open to mine. There's some sort of overlap, isn't there? So I don't want negative or damaging things going from mine to yours.
I'm more so saying whatever damage occurs, we can deal with it after. I, at the very least, don't think it's going to, make us vegetables.
Well, in fairness, we don't know that. If who knows whatever force bestows the maelstrom could say to you, leave this child alone and boot you out forcefully. I don't know.
I've never been booted out of a headspace before.
Really? How many headspaces have you been in exactly?
I am so disturbed by what you're watching, Ed.
Sorry, it's a clock I have. Sorry. Can you hear? Wait. Can you hear the? Can you hear Hermes?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't realize he's so loud. I'm gonna turn him off. Okay. I've had a clock since I was a kid that does a Homer Simpson quote on the hour, and I recently changed back, put new batteries in it. Sorry, I'll switch it off on the time.
So, God, what the fuck did Aki just say?
How
Because
many
I heard
headspaces?
that.
How many
everything left my
headspaces?
brain.
How many headspaces have you been in?
Yeah. Oh yeah, how many headspaces have you been in? Well, Mev seems to start to count on her fingers. Including the party, about 12 or so headspaces.
Wow. Didn't realize you were such a explorer of the mental world.
I don't think that's very many. I mean, this is something that I can just do often. I mean, sometimes for fun, I'll just kind of peek into someone's brain. But I don't really count those. I'm not doing anything in there. But yeah, I used to kind of connect or hop in to the cruise heads a lot of the time. When I was younger, it was a little messier.
You had less control over it.
She nods. I would, I don't know. I would have a kind of feeling of closeness with someone and then latch on.
Interesting.
It's... I haven't personally been booted out, but I've definitely heard things that I probably shouldn't have.
I suppose you must not have been popular with the local schemers and planners and ne'er-do-wells, if you could rummage around their minds and hear their secrets.
Well, most don't know that I can do this. Mev shrugs. My mom always told me I shouldn't really mention it to people outside the crew.
No, I suppose some people may be distrustful. But it's a gift, I think. As long as you're not doing it maliciously and to essentially to blackmail people and use it as leverage, I think you should be okay. I think then it's at least justifiable.
I don't know if I would call it a gift. It's definitely beneficial on occasion.
Right. But when you were first learning, was there a point when you almost couldn't control it? Like you would just enter people's minds seeming at random?
I mean,
Or
that's what
always...
I just said, wasn't it?
No, of course, sorry. How? It must not have been easy to deal with. I'm sure there was no one in the pirate crew who could empathize or sympathize with your condition, I suppose.
Not really. It actually, I think, caused kind of a panic at first. I mean, when you are connected with someone and you don't even know that you're actually attached to them, you can't really tell what thoughts are your own and which are theirs, vice versa. I mean, it sounds strange, it doesn't feel like you, but if you're unaware of it, you can't really tell, can you?
Intriguing.
That's why I make an effort to be obvious now.
Oh, dear. Interesting. I suppose. Alright, well, as long as you're not. I suppose as a child you may be more impotent. You didn't ever use it to get the upper hand on people, or as, as a weapon, essentially.
Are you asking if I've done that?
Do you want to tell me if you've done that?
I have, a couple of times.
Right. With anyone here? Anyone in the group?
No, I don't use it for kind of manipulative purposes. It's more when we were talking to Bulgan, I went into his head. I gauged the initial thought. It's not like I can really peer into the depths. I'm not at that level yet. But
No.
I could tell little cues of, how did they know? Are they here to attack me? Should I run? That kind of thing.
So you can see sort of intent, in a way.
It's definitely easier. It's more so, people don't realize the depths of their own minds. And when you have those kind of passing thoughts, they are very, very surface level. It's not like having a full conversation with yourself. That's a little deeper. But if you think something like, wow, that bracelet is really ugly, and it just kind of flies by, you don't really have any control over it. It's right there in front of everything.
Interesting.
The caveat of this is that it goes away quickly. You have to learn how to grab them.
So you essentially open the net and let a fleeting thought leave and try to grab it.
Exactly. If I'm not speaking to someone, I only hear that surface. I only brush on it.
Right. Interesting. I think I know it's easier and something of a mark of my tribe to delve into the dream world, which, as I'm sure you know. But the waking mind is a totally different animal. It should be rational, logical, but with defenses and hostility. It takes resilience, I believe, to delve it as well as you do. So I commend you for it.
It's just years of blind practice.
Fair enough, then, I suppose.
She
It's something
smiles.
It's something that my grandfather was excellent at dream delving, but it was something he offered to teach me before I left, but I didn't have the time. He was waiting till I was ready and resilient enough for it. But, I mean, if you ever want me to unpick any bad dreams or nightmares, you can always. I can have a. Just with a bit, just with a bit of training and a bit more time to prepare, I might be able to help you.
Mev smiles. What did I tell you about myself?
You don't dream, do you?
About dreams?
You don't
Mhm.
dream. You sort of experience other people's thoughts. Actually, it would be fascinating if I still could harness that. If it's not necessarily the dream world, but more connected to the unconscious mind. It'd be interesting. But, okay, fair enough. So that means that I can't exactly repay the favor.
Well, you're going to help me figure out why exactly this is. Well, I'm not attached to dreams like most people are.
Alright. True, I did see that. Yes.
Are you
So-
okay?
Hey, me.
Feeling a little exhausted?
Yes. It's almost like it's the sun rising after a groggy night, slowly but surely. I'm not quite.
Maybe you
I'm not-
should rest before we have any more intense conversation.
Possibly, yes. That would be preferable. Yes.
Maybe your creator should look over his notes.
I got plenty of notes here. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Ed.
Oh,
What about me?
yeah.
Who's also really tired in real life?
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Lay the fuck down, Aki.
Lay the fuck down and go the fuck to sleep. Advance to the next day, I guess. Unless there's anything anyone's got any plans for. I know we're approaching the
Yeah, we're
40 minutes away, I
gonna
think.
hit it soon.
Yeah, so we're about 40 minutes away, aren't we?
Just about.
Just about. Okay, that'll easily get to a good end point. I've got written here. In theory.
In theory.
Okay. So, again, I'll assume that will be everyone for this particular day. Obviously, Havelock and Kindling doing their stuff. Yenna does arrive to where the two of you are killing Havelock to hand over some rather firm rope. It's just like, I rather said pick two and you get the choice of them. But beyond that, nothing else really happens, so you get to choose your sheep. So, eventually the day ends. You sleep through.
That one's a little cross-eyed.
You sleep through and wake up on the next morning. You've all of you are out of the cottages outside of Kurz. He hasn't came out with furs yet.
Well, Fur isn't here.
Yeah, but Kurz is still with you guys, so
Yeah,
he's using Fur's cottage.
I see. Alright. Let me go grab him. Miv will make her way to the cottage. He probably needs help opening the door.
Okay. So you quickly you head towards the door. It's not locked because it's not capable of locking the door.
Yeah.
And so you open it, and as you sort of like look in with the lights sort of illuminating, you hear labored breathing right off the bat. And you sort of look, you can see that Kurz is on the ground with quite a bit of blood in front of him.
Oh my god. Aki?
Yes. I kind of like sort of a bit groggily walks out of the the cottage. Goes, yes. What is it?
Curse's hurt. Badly.
You're joking. And Aki will suddenly snap to and run into Kur's cottage.
Yeah, you can see there's no visible wounds on Kurz, but there's, I say, a lot of blood like in front and around his mouth.
Okay, Aki just runs over, gets sort of like sits down on his knees and goes, he goes, Kurg, my good man, what's happening? What's going on?
We need to get to Fur.
Okay. Mevela, get Fur right now.
Mev looks Kurz over. We're going to have to carry him.
I can move just fine. You see, so like force himself up onto his feet. He's looking shaky, but he is on his feet.
Mev shakes her head.
Aki,
Come on.
Aki, is there like, can Aki turn into you can't turn into a gorilla, can he, Aki?
I'm pretty sure you can. I wish we had the levitate spell. Kindling Havelock.
How's a gorilla just a medium beast?
We
Good.
need help. We need to move cars now.
I said I can move myself. And he's so
Can you move quickly?
quick enough. He's still staggering a bit, but it looks like he is going at a quick enough speed.
Mev is going to hurry out, and she's going to look at Kindling and Havelock. Then she looks to Havelock. I need you to move ahead of us.
As we're moving, can I hit Kurz with a cure wounds?
Okay.
Yeah, cure wounds.
Yeah.
Kurz is hurt and something is going on. I think it's between him and Fur.
D8
Havelock,
plus
I
8.
need you to go ahead of us and tell Fur what's happening. Alright.
Okay.
Use
Hold
your
on.
Expeditious Retreat. Because I'm pretty sure you're the fastest of us.
With Expeditious Retreat? Yeah. Yeah, so you pump all his healing energy into Kurz. His breathing is less laboured. But he is still able to keep up.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. We're gonna start moving quick.
Alright. So with Havelock's speed, he gets maybe about a good minute or two before everyone else. So what are you doing, Havelock? Obviously you're at Navarro's house in this situation. Door's locked.
Oh, he like bashes into it.
Door is not locked.
Oh my god.
Or was locked, I should say, from that.
Fuck your door.
Yeah. There's a few seconds before you hear the sound of footsteps. Navarro sort of like leans over. You can see her hands crackling with energy until she notices Havelock's like, what's going on?
Okay.
I don't... She sort of follows after you best she can. Eventually sort of like meet just a little bit away from her house. So you'll meet up. It's like, right, what's going on?
Navarra, we need fur. Something is happening with Curse.
Just looks over at Kerr, seeing sort of like the now slowly kicking blood around his mouth. So like walks over to one of the buildings that's got sort of like a wooden sides and just sort of like puts a hand against the wall. It opens upwards, as you can see the same grove that you guys were in before.
Yeah, Mev is going to help Curse inside. Fuck whatever anyone says.
Yeah. They all quickly go through. Narava comes in last. Looking around very quickly, you do spot Fur. She's sitting on the ground, and he's sort of like tucked up to herself, and she's resting her head on her knees. The Dryad you had seen when you initially came here is behind her, and has just gently got her hands covering her ears. No sign of
What is
Xantia.
happening? How does Fur look?
It's hard to tell because she's covering her face, though you do very much spot some vomit to the side.
Yeah, Mev will go over to Fur. Fur, are you alright?
You just hear a mumble. You can't make out what she's saying.
She will kneel down.
Kurz joins as well. The Dryad sort of is looking very wary at the two of you, but is more focused on just keeping her ears covered.
Is she covering Fur's ears or her ears?
Fur's ears.
Yeah, Mev looks at the Dryad. What are you doing? What's happening?
Hunched one is in his tent, just sort of indicates with her head over to a tent that's a little bit in the distance. So to keep young one comforted and keep her ears covered.
Keep her competent?
Comfortable, comforted.
Comfortable.
You can tell that common isn't her primary language.
Yeah. Mev stands up. Aki, you've got Fur. And she's going to hurry over to the tent.
Kurz follows you.
Oh, Kurz is following me? He's not sticking by Fur?
Looking at it, there is... I don't think you need to make an insight check. There is a lot of rage behind his eyes right now.
Well, so Aki will go over to Fur and go, "By the stars, what has happened? Okay, let me just try this," and he'll hit her with another cure wounds.
Okay. Narava also is sort of kneeling near Fur and speaking to what languages do you know, Aki?
Running like shit. I'm running like terribly for these cure wounds. I know Druidic, Elvish, and Goblin, and Common.
Okay, it's not a language that you know that they're speaking.
So,
Mev will at the very least keep ahead of Kurz so that she can block him if necessary.
Yeah, it's audible to the rest of you that are there. So basically, outside of Mev and Kurz. Yes, actually, they are speaking in Sylvan.
Spicy.
Yep. So you just hear Navarro say to the Dryad, it's like, Grovechild, where is Anja? What happened? The hunched one attempted something, and he says it went wrong, very wrong, and so he has gotten something to help young one out. Oh, Sancho. Narava sort of like stands up and starts heading towards the tent as well. But eventually, Mev, you the tent is like obviously the flaps open and such. You can hear the sound of various like bottles clinking together.
Yeah. Mev enters in.
Zancho's got his
I
back
assume
to you with
Sancho's
this.
there.
Yeah, his back's to you. But you can see like a few beakers and such, and what looks to be like a small bit of smoke. As something appears to be boiling.
Zanksha, what's happened?
One moment. At this point, Kerr sort of like bursts in, sort of like stops because you're sort of between the two of them.
Yeah. Mev holds out an arm to just kind of have Kerr's pause.
What did you do to her? What I did was a mistake. I need to get this for her. And until I do that, I don't care what you say or do. Just let me get this. He sort of like turns around. He's got a stone bowl with sort of greenish, steaming liquid in it.
Yeah.
Grabs his staff and just sort of like starts heading. Obviously, because you're the only exit, starts heading out. Move.
Mev will step aside.
He quickly walks out. Narava catches up partway through. Sancho, what was it? Not now! Just quickly gets himself over to where Fur is. So, like, kneels down. It's like, right. Just gently, like puts his hand on her head and just lifts it up. You can see at this point, like, her eyes are sort of a bit puffy from what appears to be tears and such, and they're sort of like scrunched shut. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Just drink this.
Aki's there with Fern with a bit a bit of venom in his voice. He just asks. He goes, what in all the hell is happening?
Will you just let me work here? Just gently lets her drink some of it. Right. He sort of watches, gently lets Fur's head down. He sort of watches the tenseness in her body sort of relaxes a bit. Right. Narava! Yeah. Narava comes aside. Make sure that Fur is comfortable. If she appears to get tense again, keep getting her to drink this. Hopefully the worst of it will be over after. Very well, but I'm sure you know what this means. Yes, I know. I'll answer for this after. See, if you would. So you just gently picks up Fur, and so like moves her a bit away, Narava falls afterwards. Zancha just watches and still stays kneeling as the rest of you show up.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do anything?
Yeah. So wait. So what's happened? So is Fur kind of stabilized?
She seems to be like she's been picked up by the Dryad, and her and Navarra have gone a little bit away. Not too
Yeah.
far away, just like a place where she can be comfortable, and she sort of, just in there. Navarra still has the whatever concoction is Ancha had given for.
Okay. Aki will walk over to Navarra and then just say, I'm hoping you have an explanation for this.
I'm hoping Zansha has an explanation for it as well.
Yeah, Mev is watching Sanksha. Sanksha?
Zansha.
Just kind of expectantly.
Would Aki walk over to Zansha?
You saw a guy's head bowed, still kneeling down on the ground.
Aki walks over to Zansha
Mm-hmm.
and just says, I know, I am fairly capable in healing magic. Is there anything I can do?
No. This is not something healing magics can solve.
What exactly is it?
During my time, I was taught by a brilliant researcher. Every day we were at risk of obliteration, so we had to find a solution quickly. But she made it clear to us that though every day could be our last, we should never rush our work, never jump to fix something immediately, because that would risk destroying within. We needed to be cautious and careful. That was the first thing she taught us, and in my hubris and a lapse in judgment, I went against that lesson, causing this, so that indicates to Fur. I found the connection Fur has with Kurz. I don't know the full details, but I know how not fragile, but how easy it can be affected.
So, you were poking around where you shouldn't be, and people got hurt. Is that clear? Is that what happened?
He looks up towards Mev. Do you remember when you said that maybe the connection could be a muscle or an organ, depending on how important it was?
I do.
I found the connection split into 3 parts. One was in the ethereal plane. The other 2 are sort of almost like an arcane connection, but not quite. The closest one I can get to. The one which I would have called the muscle. It was a thick set of tendrils wrapped around each other like a rope, connecting predominantly to Fur's entire being, but mostly around her head. And I watched as the connection was fraying, ripping apart. Within that I saw essentially the organ. If you could consider the muscle part as vines, the organ would be like roots, pulsating with an energy going to and from, but mostly from Fur. And the third was a mist which coalesced around both connections, attempting to repair the muscle. When I saw it, I thought that maybe if the mist is not able to repair the damage that is being caused, maybe I foolishly attempted to pull it together and indicates over to Fur.
And what? Instead you broke something?
No.
Made it worse?
I made it worse, but not in the way you're thinking. There was no change on the damage that I attempted to repair. Simply interacting with it caused this.
It was more unstable than you thought it was.
I believe that the feeling of wanting to be near Kurz is part of the muscle. I don't know about anything else, but muscle and organ, I don't think is the suitable name for them. The organ part comes predominantly from first chest and outward. Obviously with Kurz nearby, I don't know where it is, but I can assume. The muscle part, while it is her whole being, it's predominantly around her head. The mist is just coming from her whole being, coalescing around everything. This third one, muscle, organ, they're not fitting names. More fitting names would be the muscle being mind, the roots, the organ being body, and the mist being spirit. And I think that shows just how strong the connection between the two of them are.
So what exactly is the damage that's taken place? What's wrong with her?
The damage I've done is... of picks up his staff. I want to check the connection, but I'm not going to do it without you saying that's fine for me to do.
I can't say anything until I know what's wrong with her. What's become of her.
From what I can tell, it's simply my interference. It felt to her like her brain was being, and her heart was being almost like pulled out of her body. More her brain than anything. Kerr speaks up. That's what I felt. My heart being pulled out.
I'm going to examine her.
By all means, may I please look at the connection?
I couldn't use a detect magic for something to help out, could I?
I don't think that's going to help.
Okay.
Oh, we would have just done that before if this was a simple solution.
Now you've done detect
You
you've done detect magic before and never found it, so
Yeah.
I can polymorph.
Give me a couple of minutes to decide.
of course.
Mev's going to go to Fur. Fur, can you talk to me?
She's still sort of like got her, face buried in knees, but you hear muffled sort of like, yeah,
You can hear me, you understand me?
yeah, my head hurts.
Okay. I'm going to go into it. Alright?
Okay.
Oh, poor thing. She kneels by Fur and just kind of starts fixing her hair in kind of a way as she does the connection. How does it feel?
It feels sluggish. It's first and foremost.
Alright. I would like to look for damage. I'm going to try to peer deeper than I usually do.
Okay, thankfully there's a spell that is similar to what it is that you're trying to do. So what does it say that needs to be done? So when you do a deeper bit... As an action, you can even shift your attention to increase its force. If you probe deeper, target must make a wisdom saving throw that fails to gain insight, so it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, you know, since she isn't trying to resist it, I would say just make an intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Come on, you just did this with fucking Aki. You can go deeper.
20.
20!
So you're specifically looking deeper into the forts?
I am looking deeper into her thoughts, going past the surface that I usually bind myself to.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see if I can feel damage there. If something's like wrong.
You push yourself deeper in. And you don't really find any damage. It's almost like you're walking through like a dark corridor and particular memories so like show a certain amount of brightness.
So I can see her memories?
In
a way.
In a way. You see like sort of light, so you have sort of like a rough idea of when or where they happened.
Is there a particular memory that she seems to be fighting against? Like it keeps trying to be shoved down or dimmed?
No.
No. Does it seem like there's an unusual flood of memories here right now?
Not quite. You do see sort of some lights are a bit further off. That it's hard to tell because this is your first time going this deep, but you sort of you look at them and it's like, okay, these are old memories, but they're still prominent here. Like as if they've been recalled recently.
So there's nothing that's been extraordinarily damaged?
No.
That I can see or feel here? There's nothing that's being drowned out?
No. Everything feels like you've been in people's minds before.
So everything's kind of intact?
Everything's intact, just sluggish right now.
Just slow and sluggish. Okay. How do I feel being here? I've never been this deep before.
Almost like you're swimming in the pitch black sea.
Would you say I'm more in Fur's head than actually beside her right now?
Roll a d20 for me.
D20. Like, how dissociative am I right now?
You're still, like, you're not all there in reality, but you're still there enough.
Yeah. I imagine Mev is sitting beside her. The movements have kind of stopped and her eyes are glassed over a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like you've got tunnel vision at the moment.
Yeah, she peers around, sees that things are seemingly where they're supposed to be. And now she's going to try to remove herself, which I also don't know how that's going to go.
It's relatively the same as when you remove yourself from surface level forts, but it takes a bit longer and it sort of feels almost like you're like weaving in and out of things.
Like I'm swimming up to the surface again?
Yeah.
Okay.
But once you get to the surface of the fort, it's easy enough to pull the connection away.
Okay. Okay. She shakes her head, kind of refocusing herself. Okay. Zanksha,
Yes?
you may look her over if that's what you want for.
I just need to check. You just hear first sort of like mumble. Not really, if anything.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
She just kind of mumbles. It's hard to really tell what she's saying still.
Yeah. Mev sits beside her. Kind of just going back to the motion that she was doing, the cleaning up and the soothing.
Yeah.
Though she looks a little disoriented still.
At this point, Sancho, who's a little bit further away, just sort of like puts the staff up against his forehead, begins to just mutter several words. His eyes open, and there's sort of like a dull blue glow to him. And you see his eyes just sort of like dart left and right a bit. Good. But the mind connection is repairing quite rapidly. That's why proximity is important for her. Distance damages the mind, leaves the body and soul. Right. He sort of like just closes eyes tightly, and as he opens them, it returns to normal.
It looks good.
The connection of the mind connection is repairing. The organ one is disrupted, but still functioning as normal. Spirit is unaffected, as it was when I attempted to interfere with it.
How can you tell that her head is normal? What do you see?
How to best word this? I think what I might have accidentally did is given her the equivalent of a head injury, but thankfully, a concoction should deal with it, and I've ensured that she had medical treatment immediately afterwards. But it only seemed to happen when I messed with it. The damage that was being caused, that is the feeling that she has where she needs to be close to Kurz. As it gets more damage, the desire increases more.
So, in order for them to be away longer, it needs to actually heal.
It needs to heal. It needs to get stronger. While I call it the connection of the mind, it still very much behaves like a muscle. I understand I only had about a full day's worth of testing, so I don't know, but I feel, because it is similar to how a Dryad's connection is, a weaker Dryad's connection is to their tree. Hopefully with enough time it can strengthen to the point where she can be, but with how much it degraded so quickly, I can't say how long or how effective. I am not going to go anywhere near that connection again. Not after that.
Right. Mev holds her head Okay. Things are okay, though.
Yes, she'll be a bit sluggish from the concoction. Essentially, it's almost like a form of anesthetic. Just while the connection mends and the mind recovers. But we are lucky, though. The connection is immensely difficult to find. Because if anyone...
What does that mean? It's protected?
Yes, exactly. And it's vitally important because if me just trying to pull part of the connection together caused this, I shudder to think what would happen if someone to try to deliberately sever it.
Mev nods.
But
Right.
I think, and I'm fairly confident on this one, that unless someone is actively searching for the connection, they actively know, the connection is safe. Which means nobody here, not you all, not me, not Navarra, not Navarra. No one can know. In fact, looks to Navarra, I would personally say that we should have our memories modified so that we know the connection exists, but we don't know where. We have the answers, but we don't know the method. What, to all of us? No. Just us two. These, I feel they would need to know. For safety. I'm fine with what we do. So, looks to the rest of you. Is this what you would rather us have, or you plan with us keeping a secret?
I don't. It's up to you, although I fear if the concern is making sure as few people know where the link is as possible, then perhaps the memory wipe or whatever it is the safest bet, possibly. But are there side effects to it? Do you feel, can other memories get erased as an after effect or anything like that?
No, we're quite adept with the spell.
Fur,
Uh,
do you want them to take that precaution?
I don't really. I don't know.
Right. She's not.
The anesthetic will make
She's
her
not
sluggish.
really all together.
The anesthetic will make her sluggish, yes.
I think Mev looks to Kurz.
He's staring directly at Xantia.
In my personal opinion, Kurz, I think all of our memories should be wiped, except for yours. It may be important for us to know, but you be the keeper of that. What do you think?
I'd rather not. Or if something happens and I'm not able to remind people that they get the answer.
Alright. Then do you want their memories changed? You speak through yourself in first right now.
What do you tend to do if you keep the information? I suppose you mean if I'm going to explore more into it. I will not deny I would be interested in learning more about it, but I'm not going to find a way to solve your issue. I wouldn't dare go near it. I need to find a way. I need to see if there's a way that your connection can be strengthened more than anything. To allow you both to live a life, even if it is away from each other for long periods of time. And I need to find out how to do that without interacting with it directly. An impossible task. And what of you, Elf? I would simply keep it secret and safe. Zancha, was it? Yes. I hope you realize that I was ready to rip you limb from limb for what you did. And gods, I still wish I could. But you also gave me a home here, at least for a bit. You clearly didn't do it out of malice. But if I find you doing it again, of course, cuz, of course. And that's where we're going to call it for this session.
Yay.
Yay. Jesus fucking
Yay.
Christ.
Damn it.
We found a partial answer to how the connection works, and oh boy.
So.
I mean, to be fair, in his own logic, I suppose he'd go like, okay, it might be like an organ or a muffin. What happens if you keep prodding at this organ? What's going to
You
happen
just
if
keep poking it.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's essentially he tried to
I am just...
he tried to see if he could repair it, and he made it worse.
Whoops.
Yeah. It's a mental wellness check from Nate.
Fucking. Wow. Aki being worried about, like, you know, being lobotomized or something. And then there's fur right now.